Italian Football Podcast.
Right, next question comes in from Chloe Regalo. Says, will Darwin Nunez fly or flop at Napoli? What do you reckon?
This is a really good question. Really good question. I mean, what we know is, as we're recording on Wednesday, is that Darwin Nunez is Napoli's top target to be their striker. Napoli are going to sign a striker. They want someone to supplement Lukaku. And Nunez is their priority. It's who they want. It's who Antonio Conte wants. Napoli have already agreed a deal with Lorenzo Lucca. The deal's done, but he's on standby. And if they sign Nunez, they'll scrap that deal. It won't happen. If they fail with Nunez, then they've got the option to go to Lucca and just make that deal happen, or try and sign someone else first. But so that's where we're at. That's the situation. And there has been some reports on Wednesday that Nunez has verbally agreed kind of contract terms, like 5 million a year, something like that. I think that come from Nicola Scheda. So we'll see if that's the case. But it's obviously not an easy financial deal to do because of, Liverpool are going to ask quite a lot of money, probably around 50 million euros, maybe just under. And that's a lot of money for an Italian club, certainly for Napoli. So, yeah, we'll see whether financially it can be done. If it does happen, though, look, I think that he's the kind of player that he works incredibly hard. He's got a lot of intensity. He's got excellent movement, running, pressing. He's the kind of player that I think Antonio Conte, from a mental kind of like from a mentality point of view, like the way he fights, I think he's a player Antonio Conte would like to work with. I do think there's some qualities there. I know that he's become a figure of fun at Liverpool. His finishing is not good. His finishing is, you know what? Coming back to that question before, he's the kind of player that he'll score these miracle goals out of nowhere, but then he'll miss an open goal from 2 yards out. Like, he misses the easy chances and scores the chances. He'll miss a chance with a 0.99 xG, but he'll score a chance with a 0.01 xG. He's one of them. So I don't know. I don't know. But listen, Antonio Conte, he knows how to get the best out of these kind of raw diamonds, and I think you can see the qualities that he has that Conte will enjoy working with. Do you know what I mean?
It's a difficult one, this, because on the one hand, I do trust Conte's. If Conte's green lighted this, then that means he feels he can work with him and he can do something with him, and I'm sure that he'll be good in Conte's system. But I don't see how he, as a backup to Lukaku, how that works, because I don't see how he can be the Lukaku who fends off defenders, holding them off, winning. Do you see what I'm saying? I know he's a big guy, but he's not as strong as that. Maybe, okay, he's got more dynamism and he's quicker than Lukaku, but I suppose everyone is quicker than Lukaku these days. It's not hard to be quicker than Lukaku at this point in his career. He's lost so much dynamism and explosive. The first step when they used to have, when he was at Inter, he was unstoppable. But then again, like you said, yes, he is good at certain things, and Conte's eye in how to use him, I don't know. All I do know is that what I do really, really think, and that it's that Lorenzo Lucca is all of those things. I think he's a raw talent. He's very good in the air. He's strong physically. He's quick. He's very dynamic. He's good at linking up. He's got a good shot on him. I would love to see what Antonio Conte could do with Lorenzo Lucca, also because I think it's good for the Italian national team. I agree with you.
I agree with that last point. Yeah,
for the Italian national team, benefit the Italian national team a lot, and I actually quite like Lucca. We had him on not too long ago, and even if he was perhaps not the most charming fellow we interviewed in our lives, to put it diplomatically. And he didn't seem too excited about it. But regardless, I think as a footballer goes, he's I think he's actually someone who I think would do really well at Napoli and would do really well at under Conte at Napoli. And I think he would develop and take steps that would really serve Napoli well as the Italy national team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with the Italy national team. There's no doubt about it. I just think that one also advantage of Nunez is that he is capable of playing all three roles. He can play as an outside attacker as well, so that adds more flexibility to the attack. And so, yeah, I mean, listen, we've seen him when he was at Benfica. I mean, some have called it a one-hit wonder season, but he scored a hell of a lot of goals that one season before he joined Liverpool. I think there is something there. The problem is, his finishing is not good. It's really bad, his finishing. Like, he's one of these kind of, he'll need 4 or 5 one-on-ones to score one. But I think it's also, he's a confidence player as well. I think that once he loses his confidence, as he did at Liverpool, that was it. He couldn't get it back. And he needs a new challenge. He will leave Liverpool. If Conte can give him that confidence, and Conte's so good, motivating and making players believe in themselves and getting the best out of them, then he'll get that confidence back, and then he will be putting these chances away. Also he's South American. He's South American, and we've seen there's been quite a few South Americans that have done well in Naples, in Napoli. It seems to be a place where South Americans flourish. So, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
It is, but also tactically, like you said, Darwin Nunez can play in all of those front three positions, and I think and Lucca. But Lucca, for me, I really, really like him. I already liked him when he was at Pisa, and I liked what I saw. I think there is something there, and I think he's the kind of striker. What I like about him is that he's not like Petagna. I mean, you always joke about how Vlahovic has the rotation of a like a World War I tank when he turns.
Yeah.
I mean, what is Petagna then? He's an actual crane that in a shipbuilding dock that lifts ships up. I mean, that's not Lorenzo Lucca. He is tall, he is big, he is strong, but he's very, very mobile, and he's very dynamic, and he's got good feet on him. He's technically sound. So I think that combination with Antonio Conte's coaching, training methods, work ethic, and also the fact that he likes, he told us that he likes Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he likes to be a winner. He loves that kind of attitude. I think, and also the fact that he would never dare pull any of that nonsense he pulled about trying to take a penalty under Antonio Conte. So whatever discipline issues would be there, Conte would beat it out of him. So I actually think both growth as a person, as a player, which benefits the Italy national team, is I hope that they go after Lorenzo Lucca. But having said that,
for sure, Nima, we're gonna have to race through these last ones. I've got to go in 6 minutes. So we'll have to be really quick.
I just want to finish the point and say that as for if they get Lucca, someone like Darwin Nunez, that should also mean that they should still be able to get him, if you know what I mean, because he can still play in those other positions. But I mean, it depends on how their market goes, and we do have Vincenzo Chiodendino on Monday to discuss this at much more great depth. So check that out.